Hello, people. Let me know if people can hear me and stuff like that. At the moment, I am not checking audio level properly. I'm just going to go live very, very shortly. Would have been live yesterday, but I haven't seen my wife in a while. So I had chance to go spend time with her yesterday evening, and that's what I did. But we'll be live very, very shortly. Just trying to configure some stuff just to make sure OBS does not have a meltdown and crash, which it could do. Right, let's go for this then. Switch over. Camera number 1. Just move that there. It should be golden, he says. Hopefully. Should be golden. Yo, dude, how are you, mate? Evening Santa. Not that grey yet, Gab. When I do get that grey, then maybe. Oh, come on, you stupid thing. That's 1, that 2, where's the other person I need to message? DJ. Right. That one there, that one there. Where's the live streaming app part? There we go. That's the live streaming bit up. Oh, I really need to think of a better way of doing this next time. Put that like that. Spotify can bugger off. I'm not using Spotify. We will put there. I can't do that, can I? Shit. So mate. Been a busy week. Been a very, very busy week. So, and it's only about to get busier. Why one showing me looking better than the other? Oh. I want a tab. Put that tab over there. Then I can use that to Sheffield Live. Shove that there. Actually, I'll just put Dom Houghton's interview. Twitter's going mental for some reason. Evening, Gab. Hey, evening, DJ. Pretty much. Dreamyard, what's Dreamyard, mate? Blaine. I'm always intrigued. Fuck. So I will start this one up then. So basically, we've had no football going on. There's nothing going on whatsoever. But Sheffield Wednesday always seems to get in the news somehow. And this week's situation, and it would have been when it happened, but been busy, been, like I said, I would have gone live yesterday, but I want to spend some time with my wife. My wife is NHS staff, so she's frontline, so I've hardly seen her this week, so it was nice just to chill with her on the sofa and kind of put things to it was quite nice to chill on the sofa and just put the week behind us in a sense and go from there, because it's just going to get more mental as the week go on. So we're going to see what happens and stuff like that and how everything goes. But like I said, Wednesday, very, very interesting that there's no football going on yet. We're still in the news. And the news is that we have had the EFL charges against Chancery. The ones against the bloody hell, what's his name? Captain Metros had it gone up well, and I can't remember the other, John Rudgeter or something like that. And they've been dropped, and basically hey Glenn, how you doing, mate? Basically the charges were that we defrauded the Bucks, and basically he shouldn't be fit to own the club. Now, obviously that's not true in a sense if they've now dropped the charges or they can't find enough evidence to say so. Now, we all know that situation with Wednesday at the minute is that we are being investigated for the sale of the stadium, and then it being shown in our financial year the year before. Yeah, all that kind of thing, and the point deduction. Now, the point deduction is going to be very, very interesting because no one knows when the season's going to start. Let's be honest. If it even starts back up again at all. And at the moment, with what's going on in the world, football doesn't really seem to matter. It doesn't care. At the moment, there are more important things than how your football team going to do at the end of the season or what's going to happen. But at the same time, I am a football-related channel. I am a Wednesday channel, so if there's a bit of Wednesday news, I'm going to report it. Would have liked to report it a little bit sooner and quicker, but at the same time, it is what it is. If the charges against each other has to be the same for the clause, not enough further as it was all tied in together. Yeah, DJ, I'm thinking that as well. I thought that, but I'm wondering if the other charges are going to be more to do with it's more to do with the FFP bit now, I think, than the actual sale of the stadium. And if it's if it's more to do with the FFP, yeah, we'll put our hands up. We broke that. We 100% broke that, like, massively. And if we are going to get a point deduction, it should be 9 points like they started with Birmingham first time round. And not give us the entire amount of points straight away. Now, something I found out today, which I knew but forgot about, is that the EFL chairman is ex-Liverpool executive. Now, we all know how Liverpool and the FA have something out for us, which I don't think puts us in a good light at times, but at the same time, you hope that he's going to be not biased and hold grudges against us. And Gov and yourself, let's all register to play FIFA 20 online to get Wednesday promoted. Hey, dude, if I can get a way to do a stream with doing a stream on my PlayStation, do a FIFA stream and have some subs in, I'm more than happy to do that and do some one-on-one streams against subscribers. I'm happy to have a go at that if that's something people would like to do while we got nothing going on. It could be fun, it could be a bit of a laugh. May shove it on a different channel so it's not this one, but I'm all up for something like that. But as the charges go, it's given us a big boost of fans. Like, we now know the chairman not going to get done, for he can actually carry on owning the club. Now, one of the things that I found a little bit interesting was the fact that he did that interview with Don Howson. for Don Howson's new police, the Sheffield Live or whatever it's called thing. And there were some things in that interview that were said, and it kind of... And he said, I never said that. And then you found the article where he said it. So he kind of contradicted himself. Like, there was a bit where he turned around and said that the players are not like family. And so he went and found the article where they're like family to him. It's like, I get it. And to be honest with you, I'm all for backing the owner kind of thing. This isn't a bashing the owner stream. This isn't a bashing the owner. Has it not been great? Yeah, I'll admit it's not been great with him at times, but he's still pumping the money in. I don't get it though. Our stadium was not involved in disaster. Not all other clubs. Liverpool should hold no malice against us, and Man United always rip them over it, not us. Yeah, I agree, but because I think people see it as because it's our ground that caused it. And some of our officials, our groundman quit the day of it because he said, I'm not doing it. And we actually tried to change the venue and said, we're not able to do this. And the FA kind of turned an eye at it. But that's for that's another stream completely. This is about the Chargers. But like I said, the Chargers against us, in terms of this one, it's good that it's done and it can put something behind us and we can move on, put more weight now towards the other Chargers. But it also shows you that Chansiri isn't backing down from the EFL. He's going for it and he's also willing to fight for it. And that's the big one. He's willing to fight the EFL for this. And people are going to go, well, sure, of course it's his business. He's going to fight for it. And yes, I get that. It is his business, and you're glad that he does fight for it. But at the same time, if you look at who he got in to do the legal stuff, this is like one of the top people. If you follow Kevin, I think he's named Kevin Maguire, but he's the Price of Football bloke. He is the one that does all the financial stuff. He does it down to a T and does everything. He come out with it today with if we get this 50 million support package from the EFL, like most clubs are going to, it would take us 10 days to go through that 50 million kind of thing. It would take 10 days to get through that 50 million of money that we get in helping in terms of our running costs and wages and stuff, which is kind of scary. If you look at Barnsley, I think they're the 49 days. So I think the best thing would be to stick where we finished before the outbreak happened and start fresh next season on a clean slate. I think that should be the best way. They're already talking about this season financial fair play could be completely ripped up and started again for next season. So it's interesting. But signed just for 18 months ago, he's not one of them. All right, cool. That's cool. Nice to see. But it is one of those kind of things at the moment where a lot of people don't know what's going on at the minute, and that's the thing. And even I've said it before and I'll say it again, not knowing doesn't help, but also at the same time, as fans, maybe we don't need to know what's going on. A little bit of information would be better from the club, because we said before, we're not very good at streaming that information out to fans. We're pretty shit at it, to be honest with you. So, hang on a moment, let me check something here. But I'm here showing you some support. Keep it up, Al. Fans need you when you do whatever free. Yeah, don't, mate. I know you're a Man United fan, Gavin, a die-hard one at that, but it's the stupid thing that we got at the minute that I'm glad that this charge has been dropped. It's now, what do we do next? That is the big one now, is this next charge coming up, and it's what's the best way to say? It's interesting, put it that way, time for us, because I don't see how they can give us the charge with no season. Kind of thing. I don't see how they can give us a charge when the season's not going to be going on, because we don't know what's going on. Just send 5 teams down next season. This is the best for you. Humanity life is more important. Puts everything in perception. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I've seen so many people bitching and moaning about it's impacting their season. It's impacting what they do. I've seen some people going, "Oh, I don't know what to do on Saturday. This is crap." This is like, well, go spend time virtually if you can with family. Let's see. That's not good. OBS just had a hissy fit. Oh, fuck. That's why. My processor gone to 85%. Let's bring that down. Let me know if I am still live, guys, if that's okay. Because at the moment, I'm not sure. Because my computer just completely tanked. The positives, like with the virus bullshit, it got the world working together, not war for once, I had to say. Yeah, it's true. Apology for that, guys. That little break there, OBS craft. It doesn't play nice with Macs at all. It doesn't like Macs at all. Ideally, if I was streaming this, I would like to be using a PC. But until I... how do I put this? Until I have the fun to do a proper PC for this, I can do. But OBS craft, it's mainly because if I try to do anything else at the moment, it's pushing my CPU level to about 75-76% usage. So it doesn't like it, let's be honest with you. That's all that happened there, Gav. It just died on its arse. Come using a Mac, and it doesn't play well with it. I think they'll play the rest of it through the summer, but to be fair, I think to be honest, I think coronavirus will be gone around April, May time. They'll move to Euro 21, so we'll finish after that. It will be a clean rubric, kind of gives the... To be honest with you, for us, it actually works out as a blessing in disguise. It gives Gary Monk the pre-season he never had. And that's the thing. Monk never had a pre-season with these players. So it actually is a blessing in disguise in that sense. We finally get that pre-season Monk was desperately wanting and never got. So that's one of the things I'm happy about, it giving Monk that time to work with players. Granted, we now can't do it at the training ground because we shut the training ground down for a while. I don't think anyone's gone positive with the virus from the club, but I think it's just a precaution. Let's just have a look here. Let me just check something here. Yeah, I think the training ground shut the other day. I think it was on Friday. Up until then, we were all in the training ground. We were all doing the usual training ground things, and now it completely shut down. And to be fair, that's good for me. Does this mean out of contract players will see the rest of their contracts out until us? I guess so. To be honest with you, I haven't even thought that far ahead, Glenn. I haven't even thought about contract players. And it's a good point, but it's that same thing that every club's going to have. Nobody knows what's happening, kind of thing. The player can't go... It's hard to build for next season if you don't know your season's going to finish. Like DJ said, it might be gone... Give me... April, May time. But at the same time, and then we start again and we just play through the summer. When do you start the season after then? Do you do a shorter season the following season? Kind of thing. So say next season, is it less game to go in for the Euros? A kind of compassionate leave scenario. Yeah, I would like to think that the EFL kind of would go, look, any players that are out of contract in the summer, if you're allowed to start sorting out deals with the club if you want to now, just because we don't know what's going on, which you can do anyway. Shit happens, you do your best with that. You, like I said, I do my podcast. I hate to use high and stuff when you don't need it. Shit happens, you do your best. Yeah, to be fair, my setup for this is a little slightly overkill for what it is, Gav, but I like it. I'm kind of thing. But it is interesting that you bring up that thing, Glenn, about players. Because we have a fair few that are out of contract next season. And I think it's going to be interesting how many we actually try and keep or try and turn around and be a bit compassionate with. I don't think I have a good feeling with the charge against the club. I don't really think we won't get any point deduction as there's not enough evidence against us. The thing with the point deduction bit, DJ, is it's less about the stadium sale, that one, and that's more about us breaking FFP. And on that one, technically we broke it before we put the stadium sale in. They are intertwined, but at the same time, the two kind of separate things, if that makes sense. I'm feeling a little bit more confident about it. I've got to admit, and you know that with conversation we've had on Facebook, I'm feeling a little bit confident with it just because the original charges against DC was that he doctored the accounting stuff. Surely he hasn't done that then. If the charges have been dropped, we haven't actually doctored the account. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. And it's like, I have got a friend of mine who's on Instagram and called Adam. He's a Hull fan. And he sent me something the other day saying, I apologise, I'm going to eat it on camera if people don't like it, tough. People said that he's a Hull fan, and Hull has said they're willing to sue the EFL if we don't get a point deduction and they go down. Like I said to you yesterday on chat, it's Sheffield Wednesday soap opera. Oh yeah, this is 100% Sheffield Wednesday at its finest Sheffield Wednesdayness, if that makes sense. Only us could have this happen to us. It is that typical thing. It is the typical Wednesday way of we're in the middle of what I class now a relegation battle. We were being investigated for our chairman being dodgy. Charges now dropped, thank God. We're also being investigated for financial fair play. We were on a terrible run of form before they suspended the season. And there's a pandemic virus out there which has suspended said season. So it's a typical Sheffield Wednesday season in terms of everything that has happened is something that you would expect it to happen on Wednesday. So in that sense, Glenn, you're 100% right. And I'm very interested to see what Wednesday as a club are going to do when we come back. And how the players are going to react. Like, you've got players like Fortieri who's out of contract. It's like, do you give him another year? Or I'm surprised that we haven't been possibly nailing down contract with like the Fletcher and Co. But at the same time, I have a funny feeling we're distancing ourselves with what we are doing and who we are speaking to and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. Just be right back. I'm just about to go get a drink. So, speak on yourself. Give me a minute. I'm back. Just need a quick drink. So, I'm going to throw it out to some of you lot who are in here. I know I've only got like 4 people in. And at the minute, I understand not having much people watching. There are other things that are more important than talking about football at the moment. A lot of things more important than talking about football. So, yeah. Laughing my ass off, Hull will sue the EFL if they go down because of sounds like Sheffield United whining over the Tevez situation. Yep, Hull City is an interesting one, mate. Hull City is a big, interesting situation. They've got an owner that doesn't want to spend any money who've been trying to sell them for ages, and he's just slowly but surely ripping bits out of that club. Yeah, it's interesting, that one. When he said it to me, I was like, yeah, that sounds a bit petty and sounds a bit... To be honest with you, it sounded very Hull City kind of thing. That's the other thing I found. It did, for me, sound very Hull City in what they would do if we send them down. It's got nothing to do with their... It's got nothing to do with them playing badly. Although, let's have a look. Let me just check some stuff. I know that will have gone very loud, but I'm trying to sort something. Stream is healthy. No data. Stream is healthy. Good. Nice to see. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. So, it will be very interesting to see what we do next season, considering this season. And actually, Glenn, you just reminded me of something. It has been a very lengthy season when you think about it. So, let's just go all the way to the beginning of the season. Steve Bruce gets linked with Newcastle, leaves. Lee Bullen takes the job 2 weeks before the season starts, right? Did you see what DC said about Monk, the dreaded focus? To be honest with you though, he did that with Carlos and he did it with Joss, and he didn't really take action. I'm not worried about that for Monk. I think we do actually have a chairman that gives managers a lot of time. He's not one to quickly fire the bullet at a manager and go, you're fired. He's actually very good at giving managers time. More time than I think they should have at times. Wow, how many times can I say time? But he's not trigger happy. He will give them enough time to do what they need to do. And I don't think it's a vote of confidence from DC. I don't think he got that in his arsenal to be that quick with it. 7-year-old girl stabbed to death in... Oh, God. That's awful. Sorry, that was just... That is awful. So, yeah, I don't think Monk should be worried. I really don't. I know you, Glenn, have been somebody who's not confident in it, and to be honest with you, he wouldn't have been my number one person to get the job. After I had no problems as him as a manager, as such, but it was never a problem in terms of confident thing. And yeah, he's had a shit last 4 or so games have been really shit for us, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a case of him not wanting to change things up too much with the goalkeeping situation, but he changed that back four changes everything, and the formation changes every other game. It's like there's not a set solid formation and team he picked yet, and the team thing is more to do with the fact that when he gets a chance to like pick a full team, they're not fit, and it's another fitness thing for us. I think the players that he has frozen out as such, Westwood and Hutch. Westwood has accepted it. It sounds like Hutch has accepted it as well. It sounds like Hutch is possibly going to QPR next season on a 1-year deal. Makes sense. He's a London lad anyway. He did say he wanted to end his career at Wednesday if he could. Not been able to. And it will be sad to see him go. But I understand why he is going. I completely understand why he's going to go back down south, where he's from, where his family is. And to be fair, Hutch has been a great player for us. He did really, really well. And it is what it is. The players before the break showed no passion whatsoever and need their arse kicking out of the club. Right. I'm going to bring this one up because you brought it up, Glenn. You're right. You are right in what you're saying. They have shown no passion and they have struggled and stuff, and you haven't seen that. But you're saying they should be kicked out of the club. If you kick out all those players that you just mentioned that showed no passion, we don't have a team. We literally would not have a team if that's the case. If you did that, we would literally have no team. I agree, they did show no passion, but I also think it's also the situation, the confidence is shot. And when your confidence is shot, you've got no passion. You don't want to do your job. And people will turn around and say, oh, the footballers, they get paid so much, they shouldn't have to deal with depression or whatever. And I'm not saying that you're saying that there, but fans do turn around and say things like that when it comes to mental health. They do tend to jump on footballers and think they've got all this money, what they should be happy. It's like, sometimes money isn't the key to all happiness. There are plenty of people who have been known to be very, very rich, but also extremely miserable. When you're playing with no confidence, you don't have your passion there. You don't, and it's the one sport or the one job, in a sense, being a professional athlete, where we as fans can criticise them and judge them and throw them dog's abuse, yet it seems okay and normal, it's acceptable to do that kind of thing. At the moment, you see it at the minute where there's retail staff getting dog's abuse with what's going on, and it's not fair, and most people go, what are you doing, why are you saying that? It's like, everything needs to be put in perspective with this season and what's going on. How do you get them to have a positive attitude on the football pitch? And who is one who drills them in them? The fan drills that into them. The fans, the management, someone has to stand up and be counted. Glenn, how many times has Monk turned round in press conference and said it's on his job. It's his job to do that. But you're talking about the same set of players that did exactly the same thing to Lukai. You're talking about the same players that did the same thing to Carlos. You're talking about the same players who kind of did it a little bit with Steve Bruce, but Steve Bruce had his team there and was a little bit more ruthless. Now, these are the same players. We can keep changing manager and manager after manager after manager. And if we've got these same players, they're going to do the same thing to that manager. Like DJ and I spoke about this on Facebook at length. And we said that it's the manager's not the issue here. It's the players. And granted, if you have a player that doesn't want to be here, or doesn't want to play have that passion, you don't want them in the team. But then you've got a player that you need to get out of your team, but you can only get that player out of the team if somebody wants to buy him. Because even if we turn around and say, right, we're going to cut we're going to cut your contract, you still have to pay them. You still have to pay them some money toward their contract, kind of thing. And let's have a look. Let me just check something there. Goes out of the way because I can't see. You still have to pay their contract either way. So it's not as easy as you think, kind of thing. I get it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, so do you get rid of some players? And I can't pinpoint who the players are. Can you? No, to be honest with you, I can't pinpoint the players because at the moment they all look completely shot a thing. But this has happened before. This is what I'm saying. This isn't something new that's happened because Gary Monk's in charge. This isn't the case. This has happened with 2 managers in the past with the same players. Granted, we've had it before where we'd heard there was some infighting or fighting happened between Fortieri and Winnall, kind of thing. We know that there are some toxic players in the dressing room at times, from what we've heard and what people have said in the past. But at the same time, we can't pick who the players are because at the moment we can't see that. And at the same time, we don't work with them day in, day out. Monk does. And Gary Monk has turned around and said he doesn't understand why this is happening, kind of thing. He really doesn't. And this is the thing. He does not get why this keeps happening at the moment. And like we said before, this isn't Monk's team. This is a Carlos team with bits of 2 or 3 Josh players in, well, 1 Josh player in, and a sprinkling of Bruce's players. He's not had a chance to put any stamp on this, really. Do you think Monkey's doing a good job while he's in power? When we got to 3rd before Christmas, no one was questioning if he was doing a good. No, that question did not come up when we were 3rd. I think Monk needs at least a season to put down what he needs to do. I don't agree with the sacking managers after 6 months. I personally think he's doing a good job under the circumstances, with him not being able to spend as much as he wanted to. Yeah, I have. What's that about Carl? I'll get that in a minute. I'm getting sidetracked. I personally think he needs 6 months. He needs a season under his belt to bed in his players, have a recruitment policy of players he wants to bring in, and get rid of players who he doesn't want there. 6 months isn't a lot of time for him to put it sorted. And the problem you've got is you know for a fact that these are the same players that had an issue with Carlos, Josh, and not as much with Bruce, but it is. Yeah, I agree. Monk have been dealt a very bad hand. Let me just get to your question in a minute, Glenn. Did you hear about what Wallace said about Carlos? He said that Carlos lost the plot at the end and him and Lou trying to contain the laughter. I have watched the interview and it was good, don't get me wrong, it was a good interview, but it also shows you how little respect but how much power players have. Like, there was a bit in the interview was like, oh, well, you're going to get me sacked and all that kind of stuff. And Wildcats said, oh, fucking hell, I don't give a shit then. You go, you're a manager. But that shows you how little respect the players have for him at that point. And I understand it, and it was a funny little bit of insight to it. But it also shows you how some players can turn quite quickly. And Wallace used to be a really good player for us and had some great moments under Carlos. And it just shows you how much it can turn. Monk has been dealt a very bad hand, and I think we knew whoever came in for this job were gonna have a hard time trying to get it right. And to be fair to him, he done okay. Yeah, we're gutted that he dropped the amount of points that he have and how many goals are getting conceded and we're not defending well. But we've always had a shit Christmas period. Our Christmas periods on record have been shite. We always have done bad. Sounds like the same issue like my team has. Well, had to miss minor from the form part to the banner for. Yeah, it's an interesting one. They're very similar at the minute, Manchester United and Sheffield Wednesday, in terms of manager and stuff. There's a lot that want him to go. There's a lot that want him to stay. Our problem has been form, Gav. Our form has been absolutely abysmal. We've had 3 games on the trot, which was a record. I found out is that we first team to have 3 games back to back where the team we were facing were 3-0 up at half time, or 4-0 up at half time. I think one of them was with the Brentford one. We've just been very, very poor, and it needs to change. But it is one of those situations what we're in at the minute. But I've been going for about 45 minutes now, so I'm probably going to stop soon. Go have a little bit of a break, do something else. 2 wins, 3 draws, 9 losses. It's not good. That's don't lie. Let's be honest. It's pretty shit. But let's see the positive at the moment. With this is 1 charge gone, so it means he can't be. It just means he cannot be. It just means he can't be stripped of owning the club, and that's something we were all very, very, very worried about. We were very... Oh, hello, you're back here again, Callum. You're a bit late. 8 o'clock. Bit late for you, mate. But at least it's one... It's 1 charge gone, and that's what we needed. We needed a charge to be gone, and this one was the main one I was worried about, to be honest with you, because I did not see anyone coming in for Wednesday if Chansiri got this ban. I really did worry about this. Give me a minute. The video's just going to die a moment. I'll be back on in a minute. Just give me 5 seconds. Battery died. Wrong way. Come on. Should still work. Let's see. There we go. Back up and running. That's 1 battery down. Let me have a look. So yeah, it's that kind of situation. It is that situation we're in at the minute. So let me have a look what we've got here. The players are the problem. They show Carla fully under the bus. Need to release them apart from Penny Fokker. Callum, that's a lot of players you're saying you need to release. With what us not knowing how much. I'll stay on a little bit longer. Don't worry. I'll stay on a bit longer because it's interesting to have more people on. But who you're saying release them? You're saying release them, but who do you bring in? That's a lot of players, and you've got to re-gel in. And I don't think we're going to have the option to be able to spend a lot, to be honest with you. What other team? When a team is on a bad run, you can always play Sheffield Wednesday. I said before that if you're on a bad run, let Sheffield Wednesday be the team you play because we'll make you look like Barcelona and you'll look fantastic. Too many over the hill egos like Bannon, Rhodes and such. We need bloody good clear out in the summer and bring in some players that are hungry and play for us. No, I completely agree with you what you're saying, DJ. We need a lot of players to come in. There are too many players getting over the hill and too many egos and what's that whole thing? Too many chefs in the kitchen. It's not good. I think this season, well, not season, this summer coming, we're going to have to buy smart if we can. We're going to have to buy very smart and be very good with our scouting, because in that interview he said how the scouting system had been good and it got people like Burner and it hasn't worked on some of them. But it'll be interesting to see what we do. Glenn, I'm gonna stay on a little bit longer, mate. To be honest with you. Apologies about being absent. Surprised I got a mention. We won't allow to. We won't be allowed to keep breaking the bank. The FO will keep very close eye. Oh yeah, our incomings, our finances next season are going to be massively looked at, and we're going to be looked at whoever we bring in. So we are going to have to be extremely careful, and we're going to have to do a Sheffield United, a little bit of a Norwich City, where you either bring a lot of like DJ just said, you bring in a lot of lower foreign team players or a lot of lower league players from our own kind of thing. Jake, must be fun. I talk about out of contract this summer. Okay, there is no need to fucking shout, Callum, for one. Hang on, but let's just put this here. You didn't say that. You said the players of the problem show Carl are fully under the ball. Need to release them apart from Penny, Kirby, Fox and Fletcher. That's not what you said. I'm only reading what you said, mate. Yes, Hutch, Lee, Palapuzzi, Forte, Winner, New Hugh. Don't go fucking batshit crazy, Callum. At the end of the day, at the moment, there's more important things than fucking football. To be honest with you, mate. I understand what you're saying, but that's not what you said. And you just mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 players, and we got to replace 6 players. Some of them may get deals, like Newhugh might get a new fucking deal out of this. Fortieri might get a new deal. Hutch, Lee, Pelapuzzi, Winnall, and Westwood all will probably go. So yeah, I understand what you're saying though. You can always wheel and deal and have faith in DC and co with the recruitment we'll have. No, I got a lot of faith in Chansiri and people at the recruitment side. They had done some very good recruitments in the past. Sometimes it's better to look for the lower league players. You can get some gems who give a shit. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes lower league players, especially if they're coming from like a League 2 club at like 20, say the 22, 23, they will want to go out there and bloody work their socks off and play very well indeed. And they know if they get seen, that could mean the move to the next level. So the Premiership. There are some very good players out there that do give a shit. So it'll be interesting to see what we do. You will be big fun next season. I hope so. It got to be. Even if it's not our own youth department that we're using, but we're using other youth team players who are out. But also, the other market that not a lot of people have thought about using will be the youth team players from Premiership teams who get let go, who want to play. And you get a couple of them in the pack. You get ones like that. Look at some of the deals we've done in the past with players who were Premiership players in their youth thing. You do there. Right. I'm just gonna hang on a minute. I am just going to answer this, Callum, because it's just popped up. You put, hang on, before I start anything else, right? You put the players are the problem. They show Karloff fully under the bus. Need to release them apart from Penny, Kirby, Fox and Fletcher. There is no bit where you said about out of contract players. Granted, I know they are out of contract players, but that's not what you put in your comment. I'm only saying what you put in, kind of thing. I'm not changing your words. I'm reading that. If anybody wants to, I'll put it to the chat here. Did I not read exactly what Callum said to the point? I didn't change your words. I read exactly what you put. If I changed your words, I'm sorry, Callum. I really do apologise if that's the case. But at the same time, I only read what you put. This season's up in the air, Callum. No one knows what's going to happen this season. This season is going to be completely up in the air. No one knows what's going to happen, if we're up, we're down, or what. So it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, I think this season is completely out of question, out of the realms of really thinking about whatever happened this season happens. I think it's one of those situations that you do that. One of the players in, despite desperate to come in next season, Aaron. Yeah, I would like to see Aaron back in. He was good. He was really good. I like the Aarons as a player. And out of all the places that, like, teams he's been to, he went to Wickham and then he's now in Livingston. Of all places for Premiership player to go. And he got the quality. He had the quality. He looked very good. It took him a while to get up to it. But he had a bit of trickery for him. I was gutted we didn't try and get him in the summer, to be honest with you. I would have loved to have him on a season-long loan to see what he could do. We need wingers next year as well. Wingers are something we massively need. We need to try and think it. Glenn, you put something. Where is it? Wait, how's the one that look in the FIFA thing? Where is it? I really hope Penny does come back. Penny, for me, one for the future. He really is. Penny is one for the future and should get more game time. When Joss was playing him when he was here, he did well and he looked good. I understand why we've put him out on loan. He needed to play that extra football. He needed to go out, play the extra football and go from there. This season is just a waiting game, unfortunately, the virus. Even though it's really overhyped, football has to be on hold. Oh yeah, completely. Football got to be on hold this season. It really had to be. It got to be on hold. There's nothing else. The players listed were out of contract, put in the chat as the streak owner. Treat them by just a mistake. Don't play it out before. Yeah, I wasn't shouting. Callum, I'm talking about out of players this summer. That shouting there. I'm not going to keep going over this with you, mate. I'm not going to keep going over this with you, mate. I understand you're very passionate about it, as am I. And we do have arguments at times over this stuff. But at the same time, I read what I read. You said the rest can go. So I read it of what it was. Apologise. Out of all the lone players who stood out and spoke out with Murphy, Murphy's looked good. Murphy has looked very, very good for me. He's played well. Newcastle don't want him next year. They said that he will be going at the end of next season. It will be interesting to see what wages he will come in for. But already know the club. I think he's happy here. I think a player that could be worrisome for the chop for us is Harris. Harris has been shown that he got one move, it's dropped the shoulder and that's it. Kind of thing. And he's been shown that that's what it is 100%. kind of thing. It's one of those things. It is one of those things where you drop the shoulder, and he got one thing, his head down. He don't look up that much, which is annoying. But I love to see Murray do well. Murray was also one of the last players when we got back. Yeah, he was, and he did look genuinely upset, to be honest with you. He didn't look happy at all. So, to be fair, it showed a lot. But lovely to see Windass get a contract with us. He had been only lone player who shined. Windass had looked good. It sounds like he's not wanted at Wigan. We did look at getting Windass when he was at... We got Windass in the thingy, dude. Windass came in the January transfer window. He came in from Wigan on loan. He scored against Barnsley. But Windass is one of the players that they don't want him. They don't want him. The fans are not that happy with him. But it would be interesting to see what his thing was. But we were after him when he was a Rangers player, and we never got him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Penny, I'm not being really impressed with him in Germany, but as late he's been great. But he's one as future who he say committed. To be honest with you, Penny's one of these situations where it'll be interesting to see what happens. You've got to remember, while he's been in Germany, he's had issues of keeping fit. He's been injured a couple of times. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. Argument at YouTube, mate. Not even going to even answer that fucking question. Yeah, Murphy has said he wants to go back to Newcastle, but Newcastle has actually turned around and said they want to get rid of him. So it's a tough one. Newcastle don't want him next season. And I don't think he's shown enough for them this season to keep going on and doing what they're doing. Hang on a moment. Just give me a minute. Let's have a look. The Cruz is good. He's a little bit raw at the moment, so it will be interesting to see what happens there. But it all depends on what money people are going to band around. It's like we got that young lad we got from Argentina, who's in the youth. If he can come through, he'd be fantastic. It will be just what we need right now. But it is what it is at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. When they play for Rangers, and that's a decent player, hope we can sign him. It'd be a good player, and I don't think he will cost much, actually, Windass. I think Windass will be a smart little signing, to be honest with you. And it will be interesting to see how much they will want to for his services. And he's not been happy at Wigan. He really hasn't been happy at Wigan at all. There we go then. There's a preliminary player we could take in this summer. Murphy, Windass, and then bringing Aarons. Would be good. It would be good, to be honest with you. I can see it being... We could get them in. So if we got Murphy, Aarons, Windass as our top three kind of things, and the rest are youth team players, then youth team players or players from League 1 and League 2 or other lower leagues in different leagues across the world. That could work. That could work quite well indeed. Murphy, they paid 11 million for him, and they're going to probably want quite a bit, I imagine. They did pay 11 million for him, but I don't think he was worth 11 million, to be honest with you. He's not shown enough for them, but it's one of those things with the whole Murphy deal. It would be very interesting to see what happens, because it's a tough team to get into. It is a very tough team for players to get into at Newcastle, kind of thing. Let's have a look. I don't think Halal will get in. I think he will be having to go out on loan and build up from there. Or depends. We don't know yet. To be honest with you, I don't think many people thought Alex Hunt was going to get a look in this season, but he's done well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. If he goes out on loan, he goes out on loan. So it'll be interesting to see what Clark Harris. I think you're on about, mate. Bristol Rovers like Clark Harris. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. I imagine players having no holidays and playing football through the summer. They won't like that, will they? They won't like it, but it is what it is because there's not a lot they can do. Like I said, it will be very interesting to see how they work it next season and how they work. It all depends on how season ends. All depends on how the season ends and how EFL, Premiership, the lot go with it. That's actually really funny. So some of you might know Charlie Hayne. He's a Bristol he's a Bristol Rovers fan, and he just sent me Jonathan Clark Harris's goal for this season. That's actually really funny. That's actually really funny indeed. I wonder if we'll go. Scottish League is interesting because we've not had much success at times with the Scottish League. We haven't. I think our best export from the Scottish League at times have been Bullen, Di Canio, stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happened with that. So it'll be interesting with that. So we'll see what happens. I see Stevie May back among the goal. Good player. Don't think he would cut out English football. I don't think we saw enough of him, to be honest with you. It's the same with Sergio Bush. We never saw enough of Sergio Bush to kind of do it. For me, Hunt really impressed with he's a good lad, very smart. He should go out on loan next season. I think he will. I think he will go out on loan next season, so it will be interesting to see what we will go for there and how that will go. Wasn't there a player from Crawley we were linked with Baz something? Forgot his name. Crawley. Let's have a look. I think there was a Crawley player, if he's still there. If I do this, my stream might die. Let's have a look. Oh, are you on about the lad who used to play for? You're on about the lad who used to play for Monk, aren't you? At Birmingham. Oh, bloody hell, name. Let's have a look. I can't find it. Wikipedia. Young black lad, isn't he? Let's have a look. Oh, bloody hell. I know exactly who you're on about. Lumba. Lumba. 22-year-old. He's a forward. I think that's who you're on about. Modern DJ. To be honest with you, Hutch is an interesting one, kind of thing. I think he's a big player who has a big low thing, and he's done well for us. But if a player has refused to play in a certain position, it doesn't beat well. But we only know from what we hear from things. I know he's going to thingy. I know he's going to QPR, and good luck to him. To be honest with you, he's done well. He's done very well. Yeah, I did see that. We had the third highest wage bill in the league, and if the 50 million comes in, we will spend it in about 9 days on wages. If we get this 50 million from the EFL, it will be gone in 9 days. And we need to bring the wage bill down. So if we can get some players out the door and cut some stuff, then brilliant. But we're gonna have to shop smart in the summer. Let me edit this title because There we go, change that. There we go. Yeah, I've heard he's signed for QPR with a 1-year deal. It makes sense. I've spoke about it already in the stream column. I basically said it. He's from London. It makes sense. He did want to end his career up here in the north, and he made no thing about it, about saying that he really did want to stay here, but it's not meant to be football. That's the one. He's cool. Yeah, he's a good player as well. Can I put Naughty Boy in? Well done, DJ. I can't believe I waved Bill. Good job going with Hooper and Abdi. Yeah, Abdi and Hooper. To be fair, Hooper I thought actually deserved a bit of a new contract, but maybe looking at it wasn't a thing. But I am possibly going to call it a night. I've been going for an hour and 9 minutes now, so I've done well. Rose Westwood are in for the shift in the summer. Who's in my thought we would have been better. Yeah, I thought that actually as well, DJ. I thought us having... Yay! So, there's been no football on, but we've won 2-1 in the street, in the Ultimate Team Dream thing that's going on. So, we've got that to go. But, right guys, I'm going to end this one now. I've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes, so nice long stream. Good to get one done. I'll try and get one done next week if possible, but with everything that's going on, it's all up in the air. But when I do, I'll let people know in advance, like I've been doing with the little video. But that'll be it. Stay safe, everyone, and love to all your loved ones, and just keep safe and be smart. Be smart. If you do not need to go out, do not go out. If it's nice weather, and you've got a garden, go in your garden. There is no need to go out if you don't need to. And just listen to what people are saying. And that's all I would say. See you later.